Welcome back, or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. This is day one of pause. And I've been really thinking about what is it to pause? And that's not, sitting down and doing something else. It's not it's not many things, and it is something really particular and specific in my system when I think of pausing. And so I'm going to invite you to dwell on that for you. What is it to pause? To meet yourself in that moment is my sense of pausing. To lay my head down on the pillow of the deep of me and really be with myself in stillness, in reflection, in connection. So we will move this month. We will move, we will deepen, we will extend ranges of motion, but we'll also have this weaving thought of how do I pause, how do I deepen, how do I connect. And just in the this time of year, it's very nice to have a practice that connects us and grounds us to the deep of ourselves. And so every December, we tend to start doing this practice, and it's back again. So I'm going to light a candle, and I'm going to put some aromatherapy on my hands and just sit for maybe a minute or so at the beginning of the class. So come, let's sit together, and then we shall begin. So to sit, you can have a block under your bum. You can sit in a chair. You can decide how you want to sit at this beginning of the class, okay? And for tomorrow, have your candle handy. Some of you still do candles from way before. So come, let's begin. So to pause. I have some rose oil. I very much like rose oil. Just put a drop on my hands. Just feel the oil between my hands. And as I rub my hands together, I can smell the oil. And then take a deeper breath. And just filling into your senses, filling into the sense of this moment. Nice. And because it's rose oil, I'm going to put rose oil in my hair, across the back of my neck, and just rub it down across my shoulders. And then I'm going to pause. And I think the most important thing for me with pause is I'm not expecting myself to be anything other than how I am. How am I in this moment? I can feel my breath. I can feel the position I'm sitting in, my hands resting on my thighs. I can feel movement in my body. Nice. So come, rest on your back. Come lie on your back. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. And just begin by slowly flattening your lower back down and draw it backwards into the floor. Pause there. Feel how your thighs are engaged, your bum is squeezing. And then arching, and pause there in the arching of the lower back. And then smoothly and slowly travel from flattening down into arching. Flattening down, arching. And just feel the journey of your pelvis, of your lower back as you flatten, as you arch. And I'm feeling a feeling of awakening and satisfaction through my spine as I move. I love moving in the morning. I love awakening, arising. It's just so amazing for me to move in the morning. Slowly drop your knees down towards the right. Pause there. Just feel that shape in your body, the sense of the drag of your knees, the pull of your belly. And then come back to center. And then drop down to the other side, both knees to the left. And any moment that we pause, just attend to what is sensations, position, weight, movement, and come back to center. And then rock from side to side, rocking one way, rocking the other, one way, and then the other. Nice. Draw your right knee up onto your chest, squeeze it in. And as you squeeze it in, allow the deep of your belly to soften. Allow your thigh to come in contact with your chest, and let your back deepen into the floor. How does your breath connect and soften through the whole of you? Nice. Bring both elbows to the floor. Brace your elbows into the floor. And then lengthen your right leg long so it floats just above the floor. Draw your right knee up towards you. And then rock over towards the left side with your right knee up towards your chest. Straighten your right leg long. Surge your heel away so it floats just above the floor. Pull your right knee up towards you. And then rock over towards the left. So you're combining two different movements, straightening your leg out, draw your knee in, over towards the left. Can you let this movement flow in smoothness? Straighten your leg out, over towards the left. Out, and over towards the left. My left knee is bent, my foot is flat on the floor. One last time. Straighten your leg out, over towards the left, and drop your left thigh all the way down towards the floor. So now your left thigh has dropped completely. And now slowly drop your right thigh down towards the floor, and then bring your right thigh towards the right. So now my right leg is traveling down towards the left and then over towards the right. But it's not going to go very far right. Down towards the left. Feel the squeeze. And then over towards the right. And as I travel towards the right, there is a limit to the range of motion. And don't judge your range. Really be present to this is this range. Isn't it exciting to find that out? One more time. Squeeze your knee down towards the left and then over towards the right. Now, your left thigh is stuck to the floor. Right thigh is over towards the right. Not that far, but it is at the midline or a little bit further. And now pause there. My left thigh is really solid and I'm pushing the left thigh and left foot a little bit more into the floor. Nice. Come back to center. Pause and just feel the shape of that in your body. What is this in this moment? What is the shape of this? How's the sense of your breath? Nice. Squeeze your left knee up towards you, interlock your fingers, and hug your left knee down as you squeeze it in. How is this moment in this left leg in this moment? So I'm going to soften my hip and widen my spine into the floor and feel like my torso is melting backwards into the floor. Nice. Lengthen the left leg long, and I'm bracing my elbows into the floor. Draw your left knee up towards you, and then rock this shape over towards the right. Back to center. Lengthen your left leg long. Bend your knee over towards the right. And so last month we were thinking about that concept of moving through honey or staying connected for a whole range. So, how do you stay connected as you rock your knee over towards the right? Back to center and lengthen your leg long. I imagine that I'm moving through honey. I have a sense of tone and texture and connection through my body as I move. I'm really acknowledging where I am in space. And I have a sense of presence and inner awareness of how my body is moving, which is really particular to this moving through honey feeling. Next time you travel over towards the right, let your right thigh drop completely. And now drop your left thigh down a little bit lower. And then draw your left thigh over towards the left. And my right thigh is staying glued to the floor. And I have this sense of the anchor of my thigh is supporting me to learn this range of motion. So always, it's like a kite. A kite needs an anchor for it to express itself powerfully. Otherwise, it's just a piece of plastic flapping around in the wind. So the more you anchor and find your ground, the more we can express many, many different things in our body. So really harness your anchor. Anchor into this yoga, and other things begin to express themselves. Anchor into movement, and we find deeper range, more freedom in different ways. Keep that right thigh anchored on the floor and draw your left thigh a little bit more towards the left and just pause there. So I love that sense of an anchor. When I traveled in India by myself around a year, I know around 20 years ago. And every day, it was just at the beginning of emails. And every day I would email my mom and say, "Hey, mom, I'm in, I don't know, Bangalore or I'm in Mumbai." And so there was that sense of somebody somewhere knew where I was and I was anchored and connected. And as a result, I could do whatever I liked. It was awesome. So right now, bring your knees back together, feet to the floor, lift your bum up, drop it down. And let's just pause and notice in ourselves how we anchor. How do we connect and ground in our lives? What anchors you? What connects you? What supports you to pause? Nice. Walk your feet a little bit closer. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling. And then slowly lower your right arm down overhead and just notice what range you have overhead with your right arm. And then come back up to center. Slowly lower your left arm overhead and notice what range you have with your left arm overhead. And come back up to center. Feel what it's like for both arms to travel overhead. And I'm keeping my lower back on the floor. I'm not letting my back arch and my chest lift. I'm really anchoring my lower back into the floor. Come back up. Do that a few times, really anchoring your lower back and notice the natural, healthy range for your arms. So it's not where can you force your arms to go to. Include the sensations of your arms and allow yourself to adapt. So also movement will create movement. So as you do this, your range will change. Nice. Pause there with your arms up towards the ceiling. And now draw your right knee. Oh, actually, before you do that, roll slowly up and down along your spine. So lift your hips up and then slowly travel back down again. When you're all the way down, draw your knees up towards your elbows. Feet to the floor, rising up. Slowly and powerfully lower down. Bring your knees up to your elbows. Feet to the floor, rising up, lowering down, knees to your elbows. And again, slowly rising up. Pause there on the rising. Really strong into your feet. Squeeze your bum, lift your hips. Deepen, connect, pause. So sometimes we pause in resting poses, and sometimes we will pause in action in the gesture of power or strength in our body. So how is it to be strong and powerful as you pause? So, depending on the person, different people will have a different, I'm going to say, drama about the pause. Some people pausing in a passive position, they'll get agitated because they're not doing enough. And some people will get agitated in the power position because they want to rest more. So, notice the internal dialogue that's emerging as we slow things down and meet yourself. And whatever it is that you're meeting is you. Meet you as you move. It's not actually me. It's you you're meeting. So notice the internal dialogue, that deep sense of the inner conversation that you're having about the movement we're creating. Slowly lower down. Pause in the resting pose. Arms are still up towards the ceiling. Nice. Walk your feet a little bit closer and draw your bend both elbows and draw your right knee and your right elbow together. And then lengthen long into zoomies. Bend your right knee, right elbow. Lengthen long into zoomies. Right knee, right elbow. Zoomies is where your bum lifts as you lengthen your leg out long, and then your spine drops. I do have a feeling that my bum stays light on the floor in zoomies. Sinead, my awesome sister who runs the office, who has been in contact with most of you, I'd say. She loves zoomies. So this one's for you, Sinead. Zoomies. Elbow in. Legs go long. Elbow in. And long. Nice. Bum to the floor. Other side. Left elbow to your knee. Long. Left leg is moving. Zoomies on the left. There's something about this movement that really rounds and connects my lower back in a very yummy way. I feel these amazing lines of connection through my spine as I move. Nice, one more time. Super. Thumb to the floor, roll over, stretch your legs out long. Nice. So come into zigzag. So sweep both feet over towards the right. So you're sitting on your left bum and your feet are over towards your right. Bring your left hand to the floor and then reach with your right hand over towards the left and just pause there, really resting your chest down on the left leg. Nice. Come all the way back up. And then do that again. Over towards the left. But this time, sweep your right hand forward and then sweep your right hand. So you're going to sweep as you travel. So it's like you're wiping the floor with your right hand and then coming back up and then wiping the floor and coming back up. So what's the biggest, most wholesome circle that you can do? Listening to that right knee, listening to your spine, listening to your body. Nice. Hold on to your right ankle with your right hand. Tuck your left elbow in, reaching up, look up. long through the left side of your body. Nice. Bend your elbow. Change. Stretch both legs long in front of you. Bend both knees into zigzag toward the left. So if zigzag is not comfortable for you, for whatever reason, you can do these movements with your legs straight, with one knee bent, with higher up on a chair. See what you need to do, what you want to do for your zigzag, okay? So find your way of adapting into this. Bring your right hand to the floor. Come over towards the left, over towards the right with your left hand. Pause there, really squeezing your chest down onto the right thigh. Nice, coming up. Super, do it again. Down towards the right. And then this time you're going to sweep back up. And then sweep down. Sweep. So I've moved my position a little bit because I was banging into Bear's bed. Down. And then up. And it's like I'm wiping the floor with my left hand. And I'm just seeing what range I have. But my arm isn't actually what's working. It's my belly, my inner thigh on the right. It's my spine. Nice, one more time. Awesome. Come sit again. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. And just notice all there is on the insides of you right now. Your feet, your knees, your hips, your belly, the length of your spine, the sense of movement in this moment. And just take a few smooth, steady breaths. Not too big, not too small, the Goldilocks version of breathing. So just steady, smooth. And so for me, when I think of pausing, it's a very particular thing to pause. Pausing has resource built into it. So I'm not collapsing. To pause means I have awareness, time, support, attention, intention. That I'm valuing something that from the outside looks like a nothing. So come lie on the floor, just rest down. So how do you value something in the non-doing territories of life? You know, how do we value those amazing places that are unproductive to the outside world, but incredibly resourcing and supportive of our inner worlds? How do you pause just for you? It's a question I'm going to be asking myself this month, this 21 days until the winter solstice. Yeah, let's travel this journey of how do you pause? How do I pause? How do I build enough resource into my life where I feel able to rest into the deep of me and be there? So I will see you all tomorrow. And I hope that you have a wonderful day today, first day of December. And thanks for joining me. It's really such a pleasure to be here. For those of you who are new, welcome. And the next page that comes up is Sinead's email. And if you want to get in contact with her for payment details or whatever it is that you want to find out, Sinead is the woman for you. Sinead's my sister and she's amazing. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.